good afternoon, or evening. What is it? You ever see Force 10 from Navarone? Great movie. No, not Force 10. The Guns of Navarone. The Guns of Navarone. Anthony Quinn, he's got his pipe. And you have to see the movie, but they run into these Greek ruins. It's a World War II movie. And he's already ahead of his buddies, and they're not expecting anyone to be in these ruins. And all of a sudden they turn the flashlight, and there he is with his pipe. He says, "Good evening." It's Anthony Quinn's a great freaking actor. Unfortunately, he passed away. So, hey, guess what? You're saying, "Look at you, man. Hey, yeah, ascot, smoking jacket, treated myself." You want to know why I treated myself? Because I finished it. Now, I've already made the press release on the blog, but as I'm finding out, there's two separate worlds. A lot of you didn't even know I had a blog, which is like my flagship, mothership operation. So I'm going to tell all my younger viewers, because most of my viewers are younger, Bachelor Pad Economics, see? It came out. And you say, "Hey, that looks like someone I know." And then maybe you recognize that guy. And maybe you recognize this guy. Oh! But, yeah, so, and there's some people on the back you might recognize, too. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, really thick book. Did not realize how much I was writing and how thick it was. Now, it may seem a bit intimidating, but actually I did the 1.15 line space. I don't think I'll do that again in the future. But let me tell you about this book and why men and women should buy it, all right? This is the Financial Advice Bible for men, and as I always say, and women who are bold enough to read it. This is primarily, no, it's not primarily, it is written for guys. It is, I curse occasionally, not as much as my typical rants as I do here on YouTube. Obviously, I can't, you just can't have a book of cursing. But it is basically a roadmap to your financial life. And I can just read the topics, the table of contents, so you can see what I'm talking about. Leaderless, guideless, and adrift. Basically, and let me address that first. There is no leadership in terms of financial planning for both men and women. I'm sorry, baby boomers and Gen Xers, and now millennials, your financial planning is wretchedly horrible. There's no guidance, there's no leadership, there's no you should do X, Y, and Z. And it's all ass-kissing Dr. Spock. Our children are our friends, our BFFs, and you do whatever you want, sweetheart. No one says no. No one lays down the law. No, and more importantly, they don't tell you why you should do certain things. It just, if they do give you advice, they never back it up with why. And that's horrible, because if you don't tell people why, especially kids, they won't have the personal incentive to do so and follow through and do those good things. This explains why. In other words, this is basically, if you didn't have a dad, if you had a dad but they didn't train you right, and they just, they themselves were spineless and weren't real men, this is basically a father in a book who was a financial expert. So there's leaderless, guideless, adrift. Then philosophy, the basic, philosophy of life, how you should lead it, what's important in life, things like that. Because if you don't know what's important in life, you're not going to be able to make wise financial decisions. So it gives you the context, the basics. I talk about if you're too lazy to read all of it, which you shouldn't, because this addresses pretty much your entire life from 14 to death. If you're 14, you're not going to read about estate planning. But if you're 70, you're not going to read about chasing girls. Although you might, I don't know. So the basics: education, career, entrepreneurship, girls, housing and lodging, cars and transportation, maintenance and repair, investing and retirement planning, wife and kids, legal, economics, and end-of-life planning. It's like wills and, that's one of the most unaddressed things. Is you're going to die, you're going to pass on, and you're presumably going to have an estate, so you'd like to, but it goes beyond wills. Things like nursing home insurance, living wills, stuff like that. In any case, so it is out there. It is on Amazon.com. It is in paperback. It will be in Kindle in about 24 hours. I authorized it, but they got to do the procedure, and so by the time you're viewing this, it most likely is there. I say this not to enrich myself. I say this because I'm deadly serious. It's a mutually advantageous situation that we have. This book, oh, by the way, it's $30 on paper, and it's going to be $10, well, $9.99 on Kindle. Don't complain about the price, okay? It is absolutely, this is 1.8 pounds. It is worth its weight in gold, all right? because this will save you hundreds of thousands. Perfect example we talk about in college, worthless degree I talked about. For $30, you're not going to major in something stupid if you read this book. So you saved yourself $70,000 in student loans, not to mention 4 years of your youth. Okay, now I could have gotten that with Worthless, the book Worthless too, but that's in here as well. So this is ideally, it is for everybody. Old men, young men, men who climb on rocks. It's for women because it's not like economics and financial planning doesn't apply to you either. Although a lot, I don't think you're going to read the chapter on girls. I don't think girls, unless you're interested in it, but I'm not going to complain. But ideally, it would be you're 14 years old or so, and no one is leading you or guiding you and giving you a game plan. I don't want to sound like I'm leading you and telling you what to do, but this book says, here's the layout of the land. Here's how your future is going to, some decisions you're going to have to make. Ideally, the 14-year-old boy would pick this up and start reading like a perfect example, one of the best bits of advice in the book is I talk about, look, every 14-year-old boy, 15, 16-year-old boy has problems with girls. Maybe not every, but most do. I say, look, yeah, it's great to get your license. Screw your license. Get your motorcycle license as well. If you show up to school, high school, on a motorcycle, again, way worth the $30. You're not going to have to expend money going to buy fancy clothes and whatnot. You're going to get more girls and more play pulling up to high school on a motorcycle than anything else. Now, your mom might have something to say about it, but that's the type of advice I'm talking about, okay? So you're 14, you pick this up, you read, you're trying to figure out what to go to school for, then maybe you're in your 20s, you graduate from college. Boy, what about career? Should I start a business? The whole chapter on entrepreneurship. It's everything from basically puberty to death. Gives you at least the basic roadmap on how to navigate those stages of your life. And then even like if you're an old fart, you think about retirement planning. The last third of the book deals with that, or last quarter, I guess. So that's it. Available Amazon and Kindle, most likely pretty soon, unless you're immediately watching this. And I think that's about it. That's all I wanted. Oh, it should be in the hands, just like Worthless, it should be in the hands of every young man. You're looking for a great gift. I know it's past Christmas, but if you're looking for a great, this is it. This is it. It should be the Bible. This should sell more than the Bible. I saw like the top, what was it? The top selling books of all times. And it's like the Bible, Atlas Shrugged, a bunch of other things. This should be up there. I know I'm self-published. It's not going to get up there, but maybe when I'm dead, it won't matter. Ha! All right, that's all I got. Toodles.